Rickey Smiley Morning Show, the most funny in the morning. It's the Rickey Smiley Morning Show.
Just another day that the Lord has made. Let us rejoice and be glad in it. God is good all the time, and all the time God is good. Ladies and gentlemen, the senior pastor of Friendship West Missionary Baptist Church, Dallas, Texas, Dr. Frederick Douglass Haynes, got that word this morning. Good morning, Pastor Haynes.
Good morning, Rickey Smiley. How you doing, bro?
Man, blessed and highly favored, man. God is good all the time.
Yes, sir. Ricky. Man, Rick, I'm so glad about the word today. Anthony Brown's song is Worth, and it reminds me of the fact that when you know your value, you don't let people get you at a discount. When you know your value, you don't let people treat you beneath how God made you. Anthony Brown simply says, you knew I was worth saving. Listen, do you know your value? When you know your value, you live your life according to certain standards because you know that you have been paid for with the precious blood of our Savior, Jesus Christ. You know that your value is the result of a love for you that cannot be denied, that it's unconditional. Please know your value, because whenever you know your value, you don't let people get you at a discount. Now that I know my value, I don't have to spend any time competing and comparing myself to someone else, because the only person I'm trying to be better than is the person I was yesterday. Why?
Yes.
Because I know my value, and since I know my value, I'm going to live life with my head up. Since I know my value, I'm going to live life knowing that God has love for me. And since God has love for me, it overrules you hating on me. God thought I was worth saving. Since God thought you were worth saving, go ahead, spend the rest of your life making it the blessed of your life, knowing that you are worth something. You are priceless. You are invaluable. You are God's child. So live like it, walk like it, hold your head up like it, because you ain't on the rack. You're not up for sale. You are worth saving. So go ahead and live your blessed life.
There it is. That's a good word this morning, Pastor Haynes. Let everybody know how you can be reached.
Hey, thank you, Rick Smiley. You can follow me on social media. I'm on Instagram and Twitter at FHUnscripted, and I have a YouTube channel, Frederick Haynes.
There it is. Let's get into this music. Y'all love you, Pastor Haynes.
Love you, Ricky. Have a great one.
You too. Let's go.
News headlines,
entertainment, sports. It's the front page on the Rickey Smiley Morning Show.
All right, y'all, 14 minutes after the hour. Got your front page right here. Maria, good morning.
Good morning, Ricky. The front page is being brought to you by Charmin. We all go, whether you go with irresistibly soft Charmin Ultra Soft or the superior strength of Charmin Ultra Strong. You can't go wrong. Brought to you by Charmin. We all go. Why not enjoy the go with Charmin? Good morning, RSMS family. Here's what's happening in news. It was all a lie. Carly Russell, the Alabama woman who went missing after an alleged kidnapping, confessed that her story was made up. She released a statement through her attorney that was read during a press conference yesterday.
Mr. Anthony asked that I read the statement in its entirety, which I will do now. My client has given me permission to make the following statement on her behalf. There was no kidnapping on Thursday, July 13th, 2023. My client did not see a baby on the side of the road. My client did not leave the Hoover area when she was identified as a missing person. My client did not have any help in this incident, but this was a single act done by herself. My client apologizes for her actions to this community.
Yeah.
So, yeah, as of now, authorities have not pressed charges against Carly Russell.
Feel
but
the bad, Maria, because all of those resources, there are a lot of women out here missing for real and can't find that, for that purpose alone. And those resources, and everybody shared that story all over the country. Others, I'm talking about from celebrities to regular, everybody was concerned and trying to find her. And it kept a lot of people up at night. And I just hope that, I just hope that she's okay. But we're going to stop blaming everything on mental health, too, and having some accountability with this damn generation. Everything ain't mental health. We didn't do it.
Yeah, well, I'm glad she fessed up so they could stop using resources to continue to investigate.
Right.
But we'll continue to follow this story. I'm Maria Moore, and that's what's happening in news. For more on these stories and other headlines, visit RickeySmileyMorningShow.com. Rock T, what's going on in sports?
Man, we got another player. Denver Broncos defensive tackle Yoma Uwazurike has been suspended indefinitely for gambling and betting on NFL games during the 2022 season. Now, look, man, this is player number 10 that the NFL has suspended for gambling on games. Man, my message to these doggone pro players, you making 7-8 figures. The only thing I got to say is why? Come on, man. It is what it is. Former NFL quarterback Colin Kaepernick has not played a down in the NFL since 2017. He is now 35 years old. Recently worked out with several other NFL wide receivers. And I must say, man, I've seen some of the video. He's still looking very sharp skill-wise. Now, of course, he doesn't have an all-out blitz defense bearing down on him, but he looks pretty good, man. Could he still play in the NFL as of right now? I personally think he could. Will he get that opportunity once again? Only time will tell. Probably not, but it's good to keep that hope alive. It's my quick sports report right there. What's up there, Gary?
All right, y'all, word of mouth still happens, and it's still a good thing in some instances. It's being reported, y'all, that Jay-Z visited a restaurant, y'all, in Chicago titled Bronzeville Soul. They're saying that Beyonce was performing this weekend, and he said, he decided he wanted to go to a soul food restaurant that was black-owned. So he went to the Bronzeville Soul, and they're saying the people didn't believe that Jay-Z was actually there. So they said when the owner spoke with him and realized it was him, they said, this is really Jay-Z because he ordered some short ribs, and they said he loved him some short ribs and pound cake. So that's what he ate while he was there. I don't know if he brought Beyonce in it when he left or not, but everybody was excited about it, and everybody's still saying that word of mouth still prevails. So congratulations.
And what's the restaurant?
It's called Bronzeville Soul.
And where is that?
It's in Chicago.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so it's a good restaurant. So pound cake and short ribs, I guess that's a good combination.
Yeah.
So,
Oh, yeah.
really?
What?
Man, I stopped eating. You don't have to wait to dessert. Sometimes I have me a pound cake in the middle of my little meal, have a little sweet, and then go back to the meal.
Yeah, especially when that thing is warm.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Oh, well, congratulations to those people and Jay-Z then. All right, the color today is one of my favorite colors. My color today, y'all, is pewter. On the high end, you say pewter, and on the low end, you say it's a darker shade of gray. But then some people say, too, it has a little brown mix in it as well. So that's your color for today, Rickey Smiley Morning Show.
The hot spot. Drop it like it's hot. Drop it like it's hot. So hot and
that's hot. You can catch me at the hot spot. It's the BR18.
All right, y'all, Rickey Smiley Morning Show. It's the bottom of the hour, y'all. We got the one and only comedian Rita Brent sitting in for the Brad. What up, Sarah?
Hey. What up, Rick? What up, Rick? So glad to be sitting in for the Brad. This is the hot spot where we bring you music, movies, and more. All right, y'all. Keke Palmer is getting candid about her sexuality. While appearing on the best podcast ever with Raven and Miranda, Palmer opened up to Raven-Symoné and her wife about coming out as a free spirit and how she approached the topic of sexuality with her family.
What?
She said, there was a moment in my life where I was like, can I be myself? The moment where you overthink stuff. She explained to Raven, who had her own coming out in 2013. Palmer said, that's not even me. Why am I overthinking this? I guess you just get to the point where I want my life to be my own. While Palmer said her parents never voiced any disappointment about being gay in her household growing up, she did share that there was something unspoken surrounding the topic. Just speaking personally, my mama thought it was a phase. Yeah, I'm 36. It wasn't no phase. Palmer most recently has been dating Darius Jackson. They met in 2021, welcomed their son Leotis in February, and appeared to be going strong until he publicly expressed his disappointment in her online for a sheer outfit she rocked at an Usher concert, which led to massive backlash against him. So while she didn't detail where their relationship stands, Palmer spoke, and she continues to remain positive. So do y'all care about a celebrity's sexuality? Does it matter to you?
If she like, I had chicks that like chicks. I'm with it. I want all the smoke.
It don't bother me with, if that's their life.
Let's go.
If they happy, shit, it's all good.
Bring them home. Let's go.
But why you got to announce it? That's my thing. Who cares? Because at the end of the day, nobody care, honey. So, but then too, if you're a celebrity, you can do what you want to do, and and get away with it. But if you're a commoner, honey, you start talking about it, honey, your job is on the line. So,
I feel like she did like a girl on girl, like a video with Cassie back in the day. Kiki Palmer.
Yeah, she did. Yeah, she did.
So I felt like it's kind of out there.
Yeah, she's been a free spirit. So I was surprised she had a baby. But anyway.
Yeah, I mean, girl on girl stuff is always sexy, I think. Now, guy on guy, they may be judged a little differently. Yeah?
Yeah,
that's a good point right there.
Uh-huh.
Bring your crush home. While I watch the news, y'all do what y'all. I'm going to watch the news.
Oh, my God.
Then I'm going to join.
Ricky.
How long you going to wait, Rick?
About 5 minutes, that first commercial break.
I definitely hope that
like
Kiki...
taking off the T-shirt, jumping in the swimming pool.
Yeah, dog.
Deep in. There we go.
Yeah.
I hope that Kiki does find peace in a space where she can totally be herself, because life is entirely too short. All right, now some sad news, y'all. Tiffany Haddish revealed that she suffered a great loss and explains why she kept the news private. In a recent interview with the Washington Post, she revealed that she recently experienced her 8th miscarriage. 8.
Man.
While speaking with a nurse, she recalled sharing, "Well, I'm going to be honest with you. This would be my 8th miscarriage. I've got a uterus shaped like a heart. It just won't keep anything in." She has mostly kept her miscarriages private, noting that she doesn't want people saying, "Are you okay? Are you all right?" like she's a wounded animal. "I'd rather just go in a cave by myself and lick my wounds." This is such a private struggle to share with the world, and maybe opening up about it is part of her healing journey. But this is not new. I mean, Gabrielle Union, I've read both her books. She has spoken about this. I mean, what do you think? Do women need to be more open about this, especially with black women dealing with black maternal health issues? What do y'all think?
Maria?
My thing... well, go ahead, Maria. You're a woman.
Well, I experienced back-to-back miscarriages with my husband, and it was not only hard on me, but on him as well. I remember him sweating and getting anxiety anytime I used the bathroom, because he just thought that, the pregnancy was going to end, and he didn't even really believe that I was pregnant when I finally was. He was just really trying to not be too optimistic so he wouldn't be let down. So it's not only hard on the woman, but if you have a partner, it's very difficult as well. So I appreciate her transparency, because there's other women who may be experiencing it.
Yeah, well, the only thing that's concerning to me is when she says she has a uterus shaped like a heart and you can't keep nothing in it. Now, Tiffany's going through a lot of stuff now. So now you saying your uterus is shaped like a heart and you can't keep nothing in it and so on.
You felt like that was metaphoric?
Yeah, that just kind of...
Anyway.
Well, I mean, come on now, Rita.
I just wish her the best, though.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we do.
Absolutely. Well, I'm Rita Brent, and that is What's Hot.
Right. Hey, Rita, we appreciate that. That was good stuff. Right, and comedian Rita Brent will be here all morning. So excited to have you here.
Yes.
And we just absolutely love and appreciate you. And Roxy, what you going to be talking about next?
Man, I'm going to tell you how one man took joy riding to a whole new level, man. That's coming up next on the Rickey Smiley Morning Show. Well, man, I'm going to tell you about this butt-naked Florida man that was been arrested for losing control of his vehicle while engaging in an activity that is not safe to do while you're driving. I'll leave it up to you guys' imagination to figure out what that is inside of a car. The Flagler County Sheriff's Office said an SUV scene was speeding on Old Kings Road when it struck multiple cars and continued down the road. The SUV then drove onto an elementary school property and drove around the running track before continuing on. Sheriff Staley said in the release, "Just when you think you've seen it all and heard everything, a naked driver causes multiple hit-and-run crashes, flees from the law enforcement, resists arrest, and then has to be dragged out naked from his car to be arrested. Not only did the man endanger lives on the road and his family passenger, his female passenger that was riding with him, but he also placed innocent children at risk who was playing in the area." Peterson faces multiple charges, including fleeing and eluding, leaving the scene of a crash, and ironically, he indecent exposure and lewd acts in a vehicle was not one of the charges.
Wow.
What?
So it seemed like he had a female passenger. Mm-hmm. He was butt naked in the car driving. So obviously she was doing something while he was driving, taking his mind off. But this dude had to be on drugs too.
Yeah, wasn't that a sister know how to get you right and grab that steering wheel for you?
But it seems like driving naked would be kind of freeing in a sense. I can see what it is. I can see some appeal to that.
Especially with these temperatures rising.
Your AC ain't working good.
You know?
Right.
You need some freon.
But the question is, do you have to get total naked? You don't get totally naked
I'm
in the
talking
car.
about no shoes.
It's
no
hard to put
slides,
clothes back
nothing.
on in the car. Everybody was in high school.
Right.
Was naked, dog.
Yeah, trying to put some clothes back on in the car, that's almost impossible.
If I get pulled over butt naked, I just got to explain to the cop, hey, man, look, it is what it is.
Yeah.
Maybe it was a self-driving car. That's why we need them.
It wasn't no Tesla.
That's why we need them then.
Right. Dang. Is he in there? They put him in jail, right?
Yeah, they arrested him, man. They arrested both of them, him and her.
I hope they let him get dressed before they handcuffed him. Cause that's
they did not.
They take you in that butt ass naked.
They yanked him out, put the cuffs on him, and he's still, slanging.
Bend over and cough.
Right.
Why would they arrest her, though? She didn't do nothing. Hell, I mean.
She was naked, too.
Well, she wasn't naked, but.
She wasn't naked?
No, she wasn't naked. She had her clothes on.
Yeah,
Which
so
leads me to
shouldn't have been
believe that
arrested.
she probably was,
Doing the thing.
pleasing him.
But why he get all the way naked just to get some?
Yeah, that don't make sense.
I don't think he understands how zippers work.
One resident describes her horrifying experience when she first realized the complex was on fire.
Well, I woke up to go get me a cold pop, and then I thought somebody was barbecuing. I said, oh, Lord Jesus, it's a fire. Then I ran out. I didn't grab no shoes or nothing, Jesus. I ran for my life. And then the smoke got me. I got bronchitis. Ain't nobody got time for that.
Rita, who, auntie?
I remember that. You remember the song? Ain't nobody got time for that.
Yeah.
She had a dental commercial and everything.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, she got us some little money off of that.
Jesus, it's a fire.
It's a fire.
Yeah, it's a bar.
Hold it! He's half man, half woman.
It's Gary. I wanna hip you to the T. It's Gary, baby.
All right, Rickey Smiley Morning Show, 4 minutes after the hour. Gary has the tea and the color of the day. What up, Gary?
Good morning, Ricky. Good morning, America. Good morning, Rita. Good morning to you. It's Tuesday, a beautiful day in the neighborhood, and here's what's happening in celebrity news, y'all. LeBron and Savannah James, y'all, wonderful, beautiful family. Y'all have beautiful kids, honey, and growing up, and the kids are almost growing up to be like their dad. Well, they're saying, y'all, that, that comes with unique pressures, y'all. Now, they're saying that little Bronny James was out in the mall the other day, I guess doing some shopping with some friends, and a fan went up to LeBron James Jr., LeBron, and asked for a picture, and here's how that went.
Bro, I'm a huge fan, bro. Can I please get a pic, bro? Yeah. Thank you. You got it? Yeah. One more, take one more. I'm a real blood, so you can throw up blood too. Nah, we don't throw none of that.
Ricky, a lot of people saying, was little Bronny raised right, honey? This guy
Bronny. That was
asked
the
him.
other baby. That was the other baby. That wasn't Bronny.
That was Bryce.
That was Bryce. That was Bryce.
Bryce.
Bryce was nice enough.
Bryce.
He was inside a Target. He stopped to take a picture with the young man. The young man started throwing gang signs and asked him to throw up a blood sign. And he said, we're not doing none of that.
Yes. So, Ricky, was that right? But that's a fan. They say fans make you. You're supposed to do what
Fans
the
ain't
fans
right
ask.
about everything. You don't supposed to do nothing. The fans say, I would have told the little boy to kiss my ass. And I meant that video made me really upset me.
When I saw, I say, my God, I say, honey, this Savannah and LeBron
fans be doing too much. And whatever.
Yes,
he did exactly what that home training came out. He said, no, we ain't doing none of that. He set a boundary for him. And then when the dude took the picture, take the picture and go on about your business. Then you ask him, can I get you hear the video? Yeah, let me get another one. Everybody always want to take advantage of somebody that's being nice to you.
Yeah.
All the cuss that little dude out so bad. I tell you, man, I'll cuss you out quick.
And I think he may have had security with him. Because I would have been scared, honey. Oh, Lord.
On business doing this thing nice enough to take a picture. Then you want to get in the picture and throw up gang signs, which is going to try to associate him with a gang, and then now pull him into some mess when he just only trying to be nice to take a picture with you.
Yeah,
that's stupid.
He said, honey, he wasn't messing up his future endorsements or anything like that. So he's like, But that was nice that he even said that he wasn't going to do it because, some people that did. When he would have told me he was a gang member, that kind of terrified me. But he did the right thing.
You out there in California, too, that could be dangerous. Somebody could kill him and think that he out here representing a gang that he is not a part of. Then they will pressure him to be a part of it. Start doing stuff to different members of his family. You don't want to get involved in that gang activity stuff.
Yep, so congratulations goes out to him. All right, moving on in other celebrity news, y'all. Baby Miss Young Miami, honey, she is angry, y'all. They say she's slaying the naysayers who upset her over her 10-year-old son. Now, all she was talking about, her 10-year-old son was backstage, honey, at the Rolling Loud Miami over the weekend, and they're saying, y'all, that her 10-year-old son, he was, spotted throwing dollars at the dancers. And, honey, people saying, they like, girl, you need to get your son, honey, throwing these dollars at the dancers. And, honey, she expressed her frustration with the criticism that she received over people sharing their opinion about her child. She said, that's why I don't post my kids. Y'all witches can talk a sore mouth and a sore in your damn mouth about me, but I'll never give y'all the chance to have an opinion about my kids again. IDGAF, honey. So there you have it. Isn't that something?
She said, talk to you, get a sore in your mouth.
She said, you can talk till you get a damn sore.
Man.
Hey, baby, you can talk a sore in your damn mouth.
That's herpes, ain't it?
I guess so, child. Yes, baby. So that's what Miss Young Miami told him, honey. But Rick, I thought it said you train a child while he's young.
Yeah.
Well, his piggy bank, his choice. If he can do what he want to do with his piggy bank money, I don't see nothing wrong with it.
10 years old, though, Rita, throwing dollars at dancers and stuff. That's a little bit much, honey.
He come up, though.
He got that thing, man.
He around it.
The 10 years old that don't, the 10-year-olds that don't throw the money, those are the ones that don't tip when they go to the strip club. So
there you go.
Lord.
There you go.
Well, honey, she was angry and mad, honey. So I guess, honey, she said y'all won't be seeing her cheering no more. And that's why she don't post them. So
support black women. That's a good little boy. This is a good start.
I guess so, child. All right. Well, that being said, honey, the color of the day, honey, is one of my favorite colors. My color of the day is pewter. On the high end, you say pewter, and on the low end, you say dark gray. That's your color for today.
All right, y'all, give it up for Gary with the T. All right, y'all, Rickey Smiley Morning Show. And it's time now, 24 minutes after now. Y'all got your wake-up call, 8669 Ricky. Here we go.
Wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up. It's time to get yourself together. Because he woke you up this long, this led you in your house. You know it would be better. Wake up, wake up, wake up. Encourage each other and be productive. The Rickey Smiley Morning Show. Want to know where you calling from, so come on and tell us and just wake up.
Hey, it's PJ calling from Mississippi. Wake up, wake up, wake up.
Good morning. This is Finks Jones.
Wake up, wake up, wake up.
Hi, this is Shawnee calling from Rock Hill, South Carolina. I want to wake up my husband, Claude McDaniel, a.k.a. Mac. Wake up, wake up, wake up.
Tallahassee, Florida. Wake up to myself. Happy birthday to myself. Let's go get it.
Good morning. My name's Anita. I'm calling from Orlando, Florida. So get up, get up, get up, get up.
This is Jamaica. I'm calling from Orlando. Wake up, wake up, wake up.
My name is Gigi, and I'm calling from Miami, and I want to wake up all the 305. Wake up, wake up, wake up.
In Columbus, wake up. Cincinnati, wake up. Wake up, wake up, wake up. West Palm Beach, wake up. And Greenville, wake up. Come on, Jacksonville, wake up. Wake up, wake up, wake up.
And we got the one and only Beyonce Aloysius. Good morning, B.
Good morning. Okay, so if you've been watching the news, right, first of all, Elon Musk, what is he doing with Twitter? We talked about Threads and how Threads is like the new Twitter. Well, you know, Twitter made a change. They're now being called X. So if you go to your Twitter this morning or over the weekend, you'll now see a big X. Elon said it stands for sexy, exalt, and exposure. It's supposed to be like a one-stop shopping and information feed. So we'll keep you more updated on that. A lot of people also say X means the end. So we shall see if Threads can take over Twitter. But yeah, it's definitely a change. Don't know if it's for the good, but a lot of people are not feeling it so far. Now we're talking about health. So you've seen like a lot of people on stage passing out while performing. It's hot, right? And one thing that happens is people get dehydrated. Well, now you have all of this amazing health technology and gadgets that you can wear. So there's a thing called the Nix. Now, what this is, it's a hydration sensor. You wear it like a patch on your arm. And the crazy thing about about it is just by your sweat, it can tell you how much you need to drink. You know, even if you drink water, or it's like, hey, no, you really need to drink electrolytes, and it goes to the app on your phone. It sends you warnings.
Wow.
So it's really, really, really cool technology. So that's something to check out. It's called the Nix, Nix. Now, if you're a germaphobe like me, and I cannot tell you how many toothbrushes for me and my kids I toss out through the year because I'm just like,
Gary, keep his all year.
I sure damn do in my shower.
No, Gary, do you know how much germs and stuff is crawling over that thing?
Yep. But I rinse it before I brush my teeth.
It's so gross.
Are the bristles bending backwards? Okay.
Gary, I mean, but this is also the same guy that uses one wash rag for his whole body, so you know there's that. But so there's this new thing where it's called Brill, BRIL. Now what it does, it is a UV light for the top of your toothbrush, so it's supposed to kill some of the hundreds of millions germs that are on your toothbrush. So Gary, for you,
we can have an electric toothbrush, but it takes time.
Your teeth are extra big and please.
Do you ever switch the head of your toothbrush?
Nope. Could I use the same
Don't
toothbrush?
say that. Like that. Don't say it like
Don't
that.
use that word.
You use it for how long?
Say it. Ask if you ever switch toothbrush. Don't say it like that.
Do you ever switch your toothbrush?
Move on, honey.
Okay, and because we're on time, last but not least, out in Stockholm, Sweden. Ricky, you're going to like this real quick. Okay, so this is called Nico Health. It was started by the founder of Spotify. It's a brand new technology. They raised $65 million to kick it off. What it is, it's a full body scan. So it can tell you about your cardiovascular activity. It could tell you about your body mass, all types of things, cancers and everything. But guess how much it cost? $300.
Oh, really?
People have already started lining up to try to get these scans done for when it makes its premiere out in Sweden. So yes, Sweden is trying to come up with all these amazing technologies for preventative health to help you. So, you know, one thing about the United States, we don't do it the right way, and that's a whole nother topic. But anyway,
Yeah, because
again,
pharmaceuticals wouldn't be making the money.
Message.
exactly. But anyway, it's
I'll
called
be
Nico
missing
Health.
tomorrow. Rickey Smiley seen a baby on the side of the highway.
Oh no! But anyway, you can follow me at Beyonce ATL. I'm going to post all this and then some. Again, Beyonce ATL, Instagram, Twitter, Threads, all that and more. And that's your Techie Tuesday upload.
There it is. Hey, appreciate it. I got you. We already did the wake up calls, right?
You got
I'm
the
so
mix.
sorry. We got the chicken and waffle mix coming up with John Lyon on the ones and twos. Let's get it. It is Tuesday. Rickey Smiley Morning Show. Good morning. Hello.
Yep.
Yo, what's up? What's up, Rick? What's up?
What, Black
This
Tony?
Darius, man. This Darius right now. Black Tony is doing what he got to do. He's supposed to been coming to get me, and then we was gonna head up there, and you know, like I said,
We don't need both of y'all.
I know you don't need both of us, but you know, it's just time that you know. Let me give a shout out to everybody there. Who there today?
Everybody but you.
Right. Rock T.
Is
hey, there, Rita Brent.
Yep, I'm here. Where you at?
Rita Brent.
Yeah,
What's
comedian.
up, Rita Brent. Oh, what's up, comedian Rita Brant? It's good that you there. I'm glad that you there doing your things. You know, first of all, we have to learn to compliment each other and just kind of just find a new way to just be excited. I know. I'm supposed to be there right now, but right now we gonna move on, and it's time to start to move on. You know, it's just a new day.
That's the word. That's the phrase for today. Move on.
It's a word to just move on and don't stay in no one place. Don't worry about what is not, because what is that Rita is there, Rock T is there, and we just on all
Maria,
positive
Gary.
vibes now. Who else?
Maria, Gary, Special K.
Gary there. Gary, what's up, Gary?
Hey, how you doing?
I'm done with that. That's negative. We gonna move on. That's what I'm saying. You have to learn to let stuff go. Like we finna learn. This is all about positive. I just said that, and you see how a challenge came up. God said, "What you gonna do if I challenge you?" And I said, "I'm gonna move on." So now, who else there?
Maria.
Maria, how you doing, Maria?
Darius, I'm doing great. It's always nice to hear your voice, brother.
See, I heard it sound you were just like, man, you like a mockingbird. Man, when I hear your voice, life is a glass stairway. And I just really like this today, and we ain't finna be long or before nobody. We talking positive. We finna bring up the fact that I'm supposed to be there because that's
I was about to ask you, what does all this have to do with you not being here? You're supposed to be filling in for Black Tony, who's never here.
Because when things are not as they should be or as we desire, this is a word today. I ain't got time for no nonsense about no job today. This is about, when people can't get to where they going, you still should be grateful about where you are. Because, did you know one thing?
You are at home. Where are you right now?
Let me tell you this. Let me tell you this. You know one thing? Right now, I'm exactly where God got me. Do you hear me? And I'm just saying, and you can't do you not even you can challenge that. Do you know in a race that the starting line of a race, the end of the race is also the start when you run a track. So you might not be where you want to be, but every time you think that you lost, you about to start again.
That don't make no sense. That don't make no sense.
Hold on. He made a good
You know why it don't make any sense?
What?
Do you hear me, Rick? Let me tell you this. But what I am going to do, it can't nothing take me off this high after everything I've been through and stuff like that. You know what I'm really excited about?
What?
The opportunity to be there tomorrow.
Popeyes. I was just watching a commercial. I'm tired of that. Love that chicken from Popeyes. Oh, no. Love that chicken. Like, you get like, I'm tired of the love that chicken from Popeyes. But that chicken too good. You love that chicken. Get it together, Popeyes.
Hold it. He's half man, half woman. It's Gary. I wanna hip you to the T. It's Gary, baby.
All right, 5 minutes after the hour, Rickey Smiley Morning Show. Gary has the tea and the color of the day. Gary, good morning.
Good morning, Ricky. Good morning to you. It's Tuesday, a beautiful, beautiful day in the neighborhood. And here's what's happening in celebrity news, y'all. Over the weekend, you remember we reported yesterday that R&B singer Monica jumped off the stage, y'all, in Detroit after she saw a man punch a woman in the face, y'all. And that was a very sad situation. Well, now, y'all, Monica, as they call her, Gunica, she's apologizing. She said, I apologize, honey, that, for her actions. She said, but nobody would do nothing about the situation with the woman being punched in the face. She said, and that triggered her. She said, I watched and she didn't appear to even have known this guy. She said it appeared to be about space during a packed concert. He punched her with all his strength, honey. She said, my intentions were to prevent her from being hit again, and she wasn't. She said, she asked for help, and she said, nobody was doing that, so she jumped down the stage and, helped the young lady out and stuff. Well, she said, this woman was 50, she said, and I pray, honey, that she's okay. So there you have it, Monica's apology. And some people saying, well, girl, why didn't you have security? And why are you apologizing for it? They said you're a Gunica and you always had, kind of had thug tendencies. So, you were just being you. That's what the
But we see this a lot also, Gary. The one thing that happened in Chicago and the lady was getting beat up and people were just filming. I'm like, you see a lot of instances where I'm like, where are the men at? Like, while these women are getting beat up.
Yeah.
So.
Everybody want to be on social media, I guess. So, I don't know. It's a sad situation. But we're glad Monica's apologizing and everything is going to be okay. Rita, if you were to see something like that in one of your comedy shows, would you jump off stage and help a woman, or you just let her get popped?
No, I want to get hit. I'm going to send somebody else to help. If I'm at a Rickey Smiley show, well, he'll fight for me. So,
damn right.
I've seen Rick rise up. So,
oh yeah, I will rise up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you know how the YE bros is.
Yeah, but you learn that in school. You don't jump in no fight. That's how you get beat up. So.
Right. Yeah, for the most part anyway, child. Well, all right, moving on.
And your shoe come off, you lost. I don't care if you beat their ass. Yeah. If your shoe come off, change come out of your pocket. Somebody else is going to pick up some change and hand it to you. Or your glasses or something. Yeah, you lost. It's not a good look.
Not a good look, honey.
Yeah.
All right, moving on. In other celebrity news, y'all, Nene Leakes, honey, she's speaking out, honey. They're saying that the reality star is speaking out regarding her son Bryson's struggle with drug addiction. She said the reality of drug addiction can be just as hard on family members, y'all, as it is on victims. Now, the former Real Housewives of Atlanta star spoke about the matter during a recent interview she did, where she opened up about the related ongoing struggles of her eldest son. Now, Nene said, as previously reported, her 31-year-old son, Bryson Bryant, the first son of Nene Leakes, was arrested early this month on drug possession and laundering charges. And, she went on, and said, how, it's a bad situation. She put Bryson in rehab a couple of times. She said, in dealing with addiction for several years. He's been dealing with addiction for several years and had been in and out of rehab in attempts to curb the illness. And she explained, she said, he needs rehabilitation. He needs a lot of counseling. He has an addiction. He's been struggling with it for years. He's been in rehab a couple of times, and he still has come back out and relapse. But somebody who's agreeing and try to help her out with the situation, because she said she doesn't know how to deal with it because she's never experienced it before. Lamar Odom, honey, is agreeing, to help her out. They're saying that he allegedly reached out to the TV personality offering to help her son get some help from the place he was able to get clean. So Odom has also been very open and candid with his struggles with addiction, which ultimately ended his marriage, to reality star Khloe Kardashian. So our prayers continue to go out with Nene and her family, and hopefully everything goes well. That her son gets well. And while we're praying, let's continue to pray, y'all, for Married to Medicine star Quad Webb. It's being reported that she released a statement that her 3-year-old great niece drowned recently on her property. Now, she said it's been an incredible, challenging experience for her entire family, and, she's seeking prayer as well, so let's continue to pray for those families.
Yeah, we got to teach these kids how to swim.
Yes, Ricky.
Gary, I'm telling y'all, when we first got our little pool or whatever, I dreamed that my youngest son drowned, and I immediately got out there and I started teaching all these kids how to swim, or just, man, get the life jackets out. Get the life jackets. Get like alarms settings that'll go to your phone if somebody go out near the pool area. But you got to really be extra careful and have an extra eye, because them little babies, man, they be excited. They sneak out there and they want to swim. So it's definitely scary and something that we have to keep an eye on. And we got to get our kids in swim classes, and you go to swim classes too.
Exactly, as well as that. And while we're praying for them too, Ricky, let's continue to pray for President Obama family as well. It's being reported that his former chef Tarafi Campbell drowned in Martha's Vineyard the other day. They're saying that Tarafi Campbell, he was an employee of the former President Barack Obama, has drowned near the couple's home on Martha's Vineyard. So let's continue to pray.
And I gotta say, I gotta also tell people, man, stop pushing people in the swimming pool. It's not funny.
Yes.
Find other little jokes and stuff to do. But when you push people in the pool and they have a bad pool experience and damn near drown, then now they're terrified of the water, and it's hard to teach them to swim. And now they're dealing with that trauma, and they never learned how to swim. Mm-hmm. And that's why it happened. A lot of black folks don't know how to swim because of systematic trauma that black folks had to go through. And then people just playing too much around water. You don't push nobody in the deep end of the pool. It's not funny. They could drown, and even if they don't drown, they won't ever learn how to swim, because now they're afraid of water. And we need to learn how to swim, period, point blank. So that's all I have to say.
And the color today is pewter. On the high end, you say pewter, and on the lawn, you say beautiful dark gray. That's your color for today.
All right, y'all give it up for Gary with the team. And what was that clue one more time, Gary?
Pewter. On the high end, you say pewter. And on the lawn, you say beautiful dark gray. It's a dark shade of gray.
Is that the color Special K had on at the Cincinnati Music Festival?
Rick, how did you remember that? That's why I chose that. Yep, he was donning that color.
Yeah, well, how many different shades of pewter he had on?
Oh, he had like 3, honey.
Okay, this is unnecessary.
No, it's not. We just want to let people know.
It was the boots.
And what kind of shoes that was?
Oh. Maybe those girls was camouflage.
This isn't necessary, Gary.
I don't know if he was in the army or not, child. But they weren't no boots.
Are we shaming them? For them to be boots, what was the temperature there?
Because then they was horsehair, so they was a little bit warm.
But they were nice. People liked them.
He had
got
a
lot of
jacket, a
compliments.
shirt, and 8 necklaces.
I got a lot of compliments.
I don't know where he thought he was going.
Did not.
But he was there.
We can go to
You did
commercial.
not.
He showed up, but he didn't
you
show
ever
out.
win that
We can go to commercial.
Nothing with the morning show ever.
We can go to commercial, man.
We're going to give our dress codes eventually.
Yeah.
Oh, we got a song coming up.
The memo. Don't you ever do. Stop the music. Don't you ever do Cincinnati like that.
Don't we got a commercial or a song or
you
something?
You ruined the
coming up?
whole music festival with that. What was the clue of the day?
Pewter.
Human resources on line one.
Pewter boots.
Yes, baby. These girls we didn't know y'all.
And
was
it was Rock T. Wife's birthday. It messed up Crystal's whole birthday.
Messed up everything, honey.
Crystal told me
what
my
made you
outfit
crawl
was
out of
nice.
bed and decide to put that on for the Cincinnati?
Because it looked nice.
What
Ricky
you
said, I'm going to let them have it, babe. I'm going to let them have it out there at the Cincinnati Fest, honey. Watch what I get on, honey.
It was a combination of Macy's and H&M.
When he walked on the stage, baby, the girls
So
was
what part of the outfit came from Macy's?
All of it.
The jacket,
none of it.
The shirt and the jacket and the jeans came from Macy's, but then
And what part of the outfit came from H&M?
The boots.
Oh, we could tell.
$79.
Those girls said they want their shoes back, honey.
Oh, you want some boots that was 90 degrees?
They were short boots. They were summer boots.
Stop. Please
I ain't
stop.
stopping nothing. I'm going to defend myself. Y'all not going to just
but
shame me.
you can't
I got a
wear
lot
no
of
damn shirt
compliments
just
on my
because the
outfit.
boots are
Thank you
short.
very much.
It was 90 degrees.
It wasn't 90 degrees. It was early in the morning. It was 60-something,
But
70
we was
degrees
there
maybe.
until the midday, so that means it became even the shoes was too hot and my feet was
Okay,
sweating looking at
you
yours.
ain't nobody to talk about nobody's outfit.
Oh, no, honey.
That book.
No, honey. Can't talk about my looks, honey.
Oh yeah, your looks are well known for being horrible.
Your looks try to copy mine.
Fight.
If you
y'all,
look like
we gonna
me,
be
honey,
talking
you
about
would
this.
never show yourself.
Say what, Gary?
Right.
If you look like me, honey, you would never come out the house.
I wouldn't. That was a self-roast.
All right, y'all, Rickey Smiley Morning Show. On the time right now.
Hold on, Rick.
What?
I'm sorry, Rick. I got to get this off my chest out. So
What
we was
happened?
in Cincinnati, man. We still talking about Special K's boots.
Yeah.
He went live on his IG. He was asking all his followers.
Oh, okay, you went live.
Yeah, I went live.
He went live on his IG asking all his followers what they thought about his boots, and he put the camera down to the boots, and then they started replying.
They were all good replies, right?
One of them said,
Yeah, they were good replies.
One of them said in all caps, "Burn them."
Damn.
Said, "Burn them."
Oh.
Gary, we ain't going back to Cincinnati. I don't think we're going to be invited back.
No, we ain't going back, honey. But I was talking to somebody, though, in the audience when we were in Cincinnati. And they was like, they said, well, we like Special K outfit, but we thought he was part of an R&B group. We didn't know it was with y'all. I'm like, oh, Special K.
Yeah, what R&B group you think that outfit fits, Rita?
Jagged Edge.
Jagged Edge. Rick, we got an email in too just now.
What is it?
It's from Caitlyn Jenner at hotmail.com. It said, Caitlyn Jenner at hotmail.com.
What is it?
It's a fiery email. It said the LGBT community is offended after Special K had a long split in his jeans.
They said on the side?
Yes. And they say either claim one of the letters or in the LGBT or donate the jeans to a local Goodwill. So,
The Rickey Smiley Morning Show.
It's the front page news. It's what's trending now.
I got a couple of letters you can claim.
what letter, K?
The first one is F. The next one
What letter you gonna be, K?
F-U.
Oh, man. All right, now.
All right, y'all, 28. Hey, let me tell y'all something. Y'all listen to us on the radio. You have to have thick skin to work here because it gets bad.
Oh, man.
It gets bad. He just having this day to day. They do me the same way. Tomorrow might be my day. Who knows?
It's all good.
Yeah, it goes down here. You cannot have thin skin and work over here. You be woo. Just imagine.
Oh, man, baby.
Because the comeback is going to be.
The email that Human Resources be getting. Boy, we ain't no joke in here. All right, y'all. Today on What's Trending, we're talking about the governor of Florida, Ron DeSantis, whitewashing slavery in Florida. Rita, I know you got some perspective and some feelings about that because I watch all your videos on social media. In the Florida school curriculum. So joining us to talk about it is TV and radio host, attorney, and political activist. Y'all please welcome to the Rickey Smiley Morning Show, member of Phi Beta Sigma Fraternity Incorporated, founded in 1914. Y'all give it up for Warren Ballantyne. Hey, Warren, what up, man?
Good morning, everybody.
Man, we happy to have you this morning, Warren. We in an era where the political right seems to come up with shocking new ways to show their racist intentions. Now, DeSantis is doubling doubling down on new state teaching standards that claim slavery had taught enslaved people useful skills. What are your thoughts?
Well, I mean, it's funny because when you look at history, it's been rewritten already. And what they do is continually rewrite the history to make them look a certain way. Whether you talk about the signing of the independence of America, our Constitution, the founders never were all in the same room, but they had a picture like they all were working together in the same room to sign the Declaration of Independence, And then you think about the fact that if you look at Dr. King's monument on the Mall, it's wonderful, don't get me wrong, but it's so ambiguous. 150 years from now, somebody looking at that is not going to know if he was fighting for truckers, union workers, or black people, because all of the sayings around it is ambiguous. You can make it believe whatever you want it to believe. And so when you look at what's happening right now in Florida, first thing I will tell anybody is this. When they say black people got a benefit out of here, do they not realize that Africans who were brought over here and in the Caribbean and everywhere else, they already knew trades because they were working as trade people in their own country at the time.
Facts.
And secondly, if they didn't know any trade, it still was not a benefit because if you learn how to be, let's say, a welder, and you didn't know it, you're still a slave. They taught you how to weld, and then they still enslaved you. So what was the benefit of being, enslaved? I mean, it's an old saying, thank heaven for 7-Eleven. That means in 7-Eleven, the Moors, which were black Spanish, came over to Europe and civilized them. They taught them you can't live with animals in your house. You got to use forks and knives. You need to learn education. We're going to send you to Timbuktu and learn science and math. We growing up, you hear your parents or your grandparents say, boy, I'm going to send you to Timbuktu. Well, that really existed because that's where the best of the best in the world would go to actually train. Even Socrates went there. So, I mean, it's that kind of stuff that we don't talk about and it's wiped out of the book that we should not wipe out of the books, whether we're talking about John Horse down in Florida and how black people could have been free going over to Florida instead of going up north, or whether we're talking about in Texas. The whole theme song of Texas, the most prettiest girl in Texas, the prettiest rose I ever seen, that's about a black girl who helped them defeat the Mexicans because at the time, Texas was not part of the United States. You couldn't have slavery. And white people were moving there and telling the Mexican government, well, these people just came. They're not enslaved. They just came with us. Those kind of stories are always written out of the history books, and we need to always remember them.
And that was exactly my thought, Warren. People could have developed these skills whether they were slaves or not. We could have developed the same skills free. So to suggest that we needed to be enslaved to have these benefits, I mean, it's just preposterous. So also, DeSantis recently met with Florida House Speaker Paul Renner, Moms for Liberty co-founders Tina Descovich, and other key leaders in Florida's school board reform movement. And during this session, DeSantis unveiled a target list which features 14 school board members across the state who do not protect parental rights and have failed to protect students from woke ideologies. I think we've all seen how hard DeSantis is focusing on this idea of wokeness, and now he's using it as an agenda to undermine the education process. So what do you think ignited this massive shift back toward Jim Crow? I mean, it never, it felt like we were never completely gotten away from it, but he seems to be really focused on getting us back to that position.
Well, let me say this. For everybody out there, whether you black or white, and you talking about wokeness, I'm going to just say it just like this so that you really can understand it. If you born black in this country, you born woke. because you have to have conversations with your kids. I have to have conversations with my kids that they don't have to have with their kids. So our kids from an early age learn a different perspective about what's going on in their community and what's happening. Now, why all this is happening, going back to state rights, I actually did, when they overthrew Roe v. Wade, I told everybody, affirmative action is next. Education is going to be after that. And then if they get a Republican president, whether it's this cycle or 4 years from now, they're going to push everything into the state. Now, why am I saying that? Because that's what they did historically. They pushed everything into the state. And so when you see DeSantis talking about, well, we need to do this and we need to do that and we need to go back to this era and not education, this is all about state rights. And when you had state rights, you had 50 different states doing 50 different things. And because you had 50 states doing 50 different things, you had exits from the South up north and out west and everywhere else, because those states were being ran by state rights in a way that was detrimental to people of color. And so this is them wanting to keep control. And what's sad about it is that the people who benefit the most, white women, are going to lose everything. They were the number one beneficiary of affirmative action. The amendments that were black people's amendments, the 13th, 14th, and 15th Amendment, Asians and other people are going to suffer, because if they remove the citizenship clause out of the 14th Amendment, which they're trying to do right now, which Ron DeSantis supports, genuinely everything goes back to Dred Scott. And Dred Scott was a case where a free slave, he was a slave, he got to a free part of the country in Iowa and Illinois. He sued for his right to be free as a citizen. The Supreme Court ruled that he was not a citizen of the United States and that anybody black could not be a citizen of the United States. So if you get rid of this clause, now we go back to Dred Scott, because that's the precedent set for the land.
Hey, Warren, let everybody know how you could be reached, because I'm sure you have a lot more information on this. I wish we had more time. Let everybody know how they can follow you. And could you do a live and have this conversation?
Yeah, I can do a live, have this conversation, and you can reach me on Truth Fighter on Instagram, or Truth Fighter 1 on Twitter, or on Facebook, just Warren Valentine. But yeah, I can do a Facebook Live, man. I just got to get some boots like my man, so that they're letting me stay on there and have some fun with me too.
Don't do that, Warren.
Hey, y'all give it up and show your love right now for the one and only Warren Valentine. Rickey Smiley Morning Show coming up. Congratulations on your award, Comedian of the Year.
Yes.
Jackson, Mississippi, we are proud of you. Want to know that there's a target letter that's coming from the Justice Department. The Special K for wearing them boots to the Cincinnati Music Festival. Somebody said that you was a member of the Proud Boys.
Wow, that's really
Somebody said you had joined the Oath Keepers.
Hey, Jeff, you got 3 things that we need to know, right?
hey, Jeff, if anybody want to see the boots.
Number one is don't. Number 2 is wear. Number 3 is the boots.
If anybody want to see the boots, y'all can leave a comment on rscomedy@yahoo. I put a picture of the boots that Special K had on with the temperature in Cincinnati that morning right next to it, and the split screen. You can go to RS Comedy. Jeff Johnson got 3 things. This show is real.
Come on, Jeff, because I got to get on the line with Human Resources, so come on.
Yeah, so on a serious note, I know we've been talking a lot about what's happening in Florida and Governor DeSantis and the state changing the curriculum around slavery. And we know that this isn't a new thing. We know that Florida is out of their minds. But I think, Kay, you know this, like we literally have to remind ourselves that this is the same thing they did to ensure slavery existed. How do you think you can totally brutalize and dehumanize a group of people for over 300 years? Because most people, I don't care whether they're white or whatever, aren't evil enough to do that unless they've been convinced that those people aren't really human. And so they used books. They got historians to tell a story that Africans never contributed anything to society. They got they got psychologists to talk about the fact that our brains were smaller and that we didn't feel love. They got medical professionals to say that we did not feel pain. They literally changed curriculum and wrote lies that ultimately were made the truth so that they could enslave us. And DeSantis and those in Florida aren't stupid. They know these things. They know that if you are able to change history and if you are able to create a narrative that says that slavery was good for us, there were people who actually learned skills. Those skills helped them as they went on to become free. Without talking about the brutalization, without talking about breaking people, without talking about cutting off limbs, without talking about hanging people, without talking about selling them away from their families, without talking about the reality that almost every single group of people in this country know how they got to this country, know where they come from, know the land that they walked, the songs that their ancestors sang, the religions that they practiced, the love languages that they spoke to each other, even their names, and that this economic system made sure that we did not. And so Florida is probably not going to be the only one that moves in this direction, and this is even more of a reason why we have the 1619 Project, why we have to create our own teaching mechanisms, why we got to talk to our babies, why we have to read to our babies, why we have to tell our own stories, because they are not going to stop this, because white supremacy needs to continue to produce white supremacy in order for them to believe this antiquated story that some way, shape, or form they are better than we are. And they are fighting for it with dear life, not just in words and in marches, but in curriculums and in school systems and with books and with programming. And we have got to fight it the same way if we are ever going to turn the tide on it. And so, Rick, I don't want us to get so caught up in the one thing that somebody said about this policy that we miss the bigger play that they are trying to do, which is why they elect so many people in the state's Board of Education, which is why they fight for Board of Education, which is why they fight for the state legislature to create curriculums, because that's where all that stuff is done. And so we got to fight those places, in those places, not just in response to one piece of legislation, but in the whole system. This is chess, it ain't checkers. And hell, sometimes we just playing tic-tac-toe. Those are three things I got, man.
Wow. Jeff, let everybody know how they can reach you.
Jeff's Nation on IG. And let me know what you all think. Let's share resources, because if we don't do it, nobody's going to do it for us.
There it is, man. Appreciate you. Love you, man. Rickey Smiley Morning Show. A lot of stuff developing in the Carly Russell case. There was a press conference on yesterday. Maria, you got the for everybody, if you've been hiding under a rock, let everybody know what happened.
Yeah, we saw it all over social media. A lot of folks were concerned. Ricky, she went missing on July 13th in Hoover, Alabama. After claiming to see a child on the side of the road, she called a relative and said she was going to help the child. And when the police came to that location, she was nowhere to be found. However, she left behind quite a few items, including her personal belongings and her wig, Ricky.
All right, we got the wig on the phone. Rickey Smiley Morning Show. Good morning.
Good morning. How you doing?
Do you have a name, or what happened?
First of all, my name is Wig.
So what?
Wig. They call me Wig.
Okay. What kind of wig? What kind of wig are you?
Manufacturer just called me a pullover. So I'm just really, some people think I'm a lace front.
Okay. So you know it was a press conference that came out that she lied about everything. Take us through what happened that night and how you was found on the side of the road, and how did you get back? How did you get back to the house? Were you with Carly? Walk us through what happened.
With her. Yeah, I was with her the night before, the day of. I was with her while we was at her job. I was with her while she was Googling, looking down at her Google taken, and I wasn't understanding why she was doing this.
So what happened when y'all pulled over? What happened on 459, Highway 459?
Well, I had a good view through the windshield until I ended up on the passenger floor, the front passenger floor. She threw me on the ground. And, I just thought she was hot. We was taking a break. She do that all the time. She do that all the time. You know, she would sit in my head, need to breathe. So, but I never ended up back on her head.
So you ended up at the Hoover Police Station? Is that correct?
Yeah. Now I'm at the dollar store, but yeah, I was there first. At the
you where?
Police station. Dollar store here in Hoover.
You just hanging out by yourself, or you on somebody else's head?
Some people been trying me out, but put me back. Unbelievable. Never thought I'd be here. If you come through, I'm on like a side aisle, second shift.
Oh, so
you went aisle?
Second aisle, second shift, and they said by tomorrow I'll get on the styrofoam head piece, so I'll be able to sit up a little high, and maybe I'll be able to somebody buy me, and I'll get on out of here.
Rita, you have anything you want to add? You have any questions?
Well, how is your mental health, Wig?
I'm fragile right now. Fragile. I just can't believe I was with her. We took some toilet tissue together, been over Target together. She left me, took a box of cheese. I don't know what made me, I heard her, she dialed 911. I thought, I don't know, but can somebody come by me, please? I don't cost a lot. Just get me out of here.
Do you have a problem? Do you have a problem with being a refurbished wig now, or
a what?
A refurbished, like kind of being resold.
I just want to get out of here.
Well, we are really praying for your mental health. Tell us how your physical recovery is going. Any broken bones or sore muscles or anything like that happening?
I don't have any bones. I've lost a lot of strands because I've been washed. It's like they've been trying to wash her off of me, and so I've lost a lot of strands. But it's just how you fix it on your head. I think I've looked pretty mighty fine. Just whoever buys me, don't take me back to her. Please don't do that. I just want to. I can't go back to that girl's house. I can't go back to. I just can't. Oh Lord, I just.
Yeah, and one of your we did some, read your background or whatever. I know you're supposed to be putting up a Facebook page. Tell us why comedian Benji Brown is one of your all-time favorite comedians, because I know Benji Brown.
I'm glad you mentioned him because he does this. Maybe if he can just, at least I'll be gone. Just out of this store to be with him and his character that he does is so funny. I just. The thing is, I was crying. I thought I was gonna end up in Nashville. I saw her typing something talking about we gonna get a one-way ticket.
Right.
Lord, I just
talking about that Zanies?
Yeah. One-way ticket.
Well, Miss Wig, this is very important. Now, there's a rumor going around that you've been approached about doing a reality show or maybe a guest spot on one of the Housewives shows. Is that true?
Yeah. I want to be on Candy's head. I've been watching one of those. I just want to be on one of those. She got a nice size head. I think I fit mighty fine on top of her head. I just want a better life. I feel like my whole life's been a lie.
Right.
My whole life's been a lie.
Y'all make sure y'all. Hey, thank you so much, and I hope you get on somebody's head and they take you to see comedian Benji Brown. one of my all-time favorite comedians. Well, y'all give it up for the wig from the Carly Russell situation. More Rickey Smiley Morning Show coming up.
News headlines, entertainment, sports. It's the front page on the Rickey Smiley Morning Show.
All right, party people, 26 minutes after the hour, y'all got your front page right here. Maria, good morning.
Good morning, Ricky. The front page is being brought to you by Olay Body. Olay Hyaluronic Body Wash. Lotion nourishes your skin with all-day hydration. Visibly better skin in 14 days. Also try Olay Hyaluronic Body Wash. Buy online or at your local retailer. Good morning, RSMS family. Here's what's happening in news. Carly Russell, the Alabama woman who went missing after an alleged kidnapping, confessed that her story was made up. She released a statement through her attorney that was read during a press conference yesterday.
Mr. Anthony asked that I read the statement in its entirety, which I will do now. My client has given me permission to make the following statement on her behalf. There was no kidnapping on Thursday, July 13th, 2023. My client did not see a baby on the side of the road. My client did not leave the Hoover area when she was identified as a missing person. My client did not have any help in this incident, but this was a single act done by herself. My client apologizes for her actions to this community.
And people in Birmingham so messy talking about there was little Moses on the side of the road. That's a little person that I had, Rita, I had hired to, y'all see the video I had hired when I did the grand opening for the swing set, and little Moses is a little person that graduated high school 2 years before us. But he was a little person. He was the manager of the basketball team. And I hired him to be in the kids' playhouse to serve the kids snow cones, popcorn, and hot dogs. The little kids was confused. They didn't know.
Oh.
How they were looking? They were just staring there. But the video is on Facebook. You can look up the grand opening of the swing set. You know, I did a grand opening swing set for my grandkids.
Uh-huh.
And I had little Moses in the house selling... not selling, but he was getting the kids. We had a little popcorn machine, making them snow cones and hot dogs. He was serving them. You can't find the rubber gloves that were going to fit him. So we had to give him some hand sanitizer. And we'll talk about it another time. Go ahead.
Yeah, I'm sure it was a great experience for the kids. But as of now, authorities have not pressed charges against Carly Russell. In other news, another quick story. U.S. Secretary of Transportation Pete Buttigieg is leading an investigation into airline industry's widespread cancellation of flights and delays. Now, industry experts say staff shortages are to blame and add that as long as the number of air traffic controllers, pilots, and airplane mechanics remain low, the trend could continue for years to come. I'm Maria Moore, and that's a quick rundown of today's news. For more on these stories and other headlines, visit RickeySmileyMorningShow.com. Rock T, what's going on in sports?
Well, I got a little decent good news, man, for one of the NFL's best running backs. New York Giants running back Saquon Barkley agreed to a one-year, $11 million deal with the Giants. This deal also includes the $2 million signing bonus. He still could get the doggone franchise tag next year, but at least he was able to, because he was threatening to sit out. Like, listen, man, if I don't get paid, you know, what my worth is, I may have to sit out this year. So they got the deal done, so we'll see Saquon out there on the field. Former NFL quarterback Colin Kaepernick has surfaced once again. He has not played in the NFL since 2017. He's 35 years old now, Rick. Recently worked out with a bunch of NFL star wide receivers. And I must say, man, just watching the video, he's still looking very sharp, throwing really good, accurate passes. Now, of course, he doesn't have an all-out blitz defense bearing down on him or whatever, but he's out there looking pretty good. Can he still be on somebody's NFL roster, in my opinion?
Man, I hate how they railroaded it. That does something to my heart, the way they totally railroaded his career, and he's more than qualified to be on anybody's team, at least as a backup.
Easy.
Rock.
Easy.
Like, for real.
Oh, no, he could probably start on a couple of teams out there, but definitely a backup, you know. Will he ever get a shot to play in the NFL? I don't think he will. I hope he does, but that's an unfortunate situation, man. That's an unfortunate situation. That's my quick sports report, man. Hit me on social media at Rock T Holla. Let me know what you think. Got the hot spot up next.
The hot spot.
Drop it like it's hot. Drop it like it's hot.
So hot and that's hot. You can catch me at the hot spot. It's the BR18.
All right, y'all, we got the hot spot with comedian extraordinaire Rita Brent Filling in for the Brad, the segment is being brought to you by
Real Talk drives real change, fully charged by Chevrolet. To learn more, visit change.news1.com. Rita Brent, what you got in the hot spot, girl?
Good morning, y'all. I am Rita Brent, sitting in for my girl and new mommy, the Brat. This is a hot spot where we bring you music, movies, and more. All right. Damon Dash dished on his disdain for Jay-Z because he claims the rapper was well aware R. Kelly raped his girl before collaborating with him. Dame said, "Yeah, I think Kells is where he belongs. I know Aaliyah, so I know what he did. I can't be objective about that." Dame said Aaliyah asked him to leave it alone completely. When Jay-Z was doing videos with him, I would be in the video, but I would be like, "Yo, what you want me to do?" He claims Aaliyah told him, "Don't start nothing, just don't be in shots with him." I couldn't believe Jay-Z did a project with R. Kelly knowing he raped my girl. Then when things hit the fan, Jay-Z ran, says Dame. And so fans are asking, is Dame in a position to criticize Jay-Z for collaborating with R. Kelly when he looked just as complicit dancing alongside Jay in the video? How y'all feel about that?
It's interesting. I mean, Damon Dash, I would be kind of scared talking about Jay-Z like that. You know how they all got their goons and stuff, because he's been speaking out a lot lately about Jay-Z. So that's definitely like a fall from grace for Damon Dash, because Jay-Z is a billionaire and Damon Dash is out talking.
So
they've obviously had squashed their beef.
Nah,
Dash and Jay, because it's Dash is. I mean, he's always saying something bad about Jay-Z.
Yeah, and Jay-Z probably not gonna say anything about it. So.
Nope.
Yeah, all right. Well, we'll keep them in our prayers. Hopefully they'll squash their beef soon enough. In other news, it looks like Quavo was caught in the middle of a police investigation. According to reports, Quavo was aboard a Miami yacht Sunday night that is being investigated for an alleged strong-arm robbery. According to the Miami Beach, according to the Miami Beach Police Department, 2 men on board allegedly became very aggressive with the captain and his crew after they were informed that their time on the boat rental was running out. The men then demanded a refund and began making verbal threats. One of the suspects allegedly threatened to kill the captain and throw him off the boat. He also removed the captain's wallet and phone from his pocket, and when the owner of the yacht was notified of the incident, law enforcement was contacted. Upon arrival, police had several males detained. A police report confirms that Quavo was among those on board the boat and was seen with his hands zip-tied behind his back while police searched the yacht, but was ultimately released. No reports were made reportedly at the time due to conflicting statements, and all parties involved were released and left without incident. So, Ricky, you have a boat? You got a boat?
No, Rita, you been there. That's where we was. Remember that New Year's when we went out? That's the same marina. That's Miami Beach Marina. I had a little incident. I ain't gonna say. No, I better not tell that. I don't want to get beat up. But yeah.
I mean, so what's the rule though? If you out there on the water, can you request additional time?
If you charter a boat, if for 4 hours, the boat come back in 4 hours, and sometimes people are still partying, or whatever, and the captain have to go back because sometimes they have another charter. So it just depends on what time they went out or whatever. But the thing about it is, you say, hey, can we run the credit card to get it for another hour or two, something like that. But you can't get aggressive with those captains, man. Police, that's almost like hijacking or kidnapping or something or whatever. You cannot mess with a pilot. You can't mess with a boat captain or none of that stuff. Those are real crimes. They'll put you in jail. And when you start getting Miami Beach police involved, that's crazy. But they probably, I'm sure they went out of Miami Beach Marina because that's where you see everybody at on the weekends. They go to Florida, they charter all of the yachts and different boats, which is, you say yachts. Anything over like 30 feet is considered a yacht. People charter them all the time for like $1,500 up to $5,000, up to $10,000, depending on how many people you got. People just go in and pay for it. But yeah, it gets crazy.
Yeah,
it gets crazy. I just hope that they get that resolved, like we tried to resolve those shoes special K to the Cincinnati Music Festival.
Yeah, Rick. Allegedly,
no damn boat.
Allegedly, one of the men had on them boots.
Here we go from a boat to my boots.
And tried to run, but the boots was too heavy, so that's how they got.
It's a whole different vibe.
It's Talk It Out Tuesday with licensed professional counselor Unetta Spring.
All right, y'all, Rickey Smiley Morning Show. It's Talking Out Tuesday. I'm so excited. Y'all, please help me welcome licensed professional counselor Unetta Spring. Unetta, good morning.
Hey, good morning, Rickey. Good morning, y'all. How y'all doing?
Hey, we doing good. We are so happy to have you because Lord knows we need therapy. And, man, let's jump right into it.
You know, we talked about the Karen complex a couple weeks ago. There was someone on social that reached out and was like, you know, looking at this Karen complex, I'm starting to notice, like, the Kiki complex in me. And it was a black woman. She said she was kind of looking at herself differently after hearing about the Karen complex. So I thought that was pretty cool for us to, like, get into.
Oh, yeah. I hadn't had the Karen, but I get the Kiki all the time. Defensive, rude, loud, ready to argue, ready to disagree. And talking with their hands, grabbing air. What's up with that?
Grabbing air. Okay, so one thing I think is important is that, like, although the behavior may be similar, the situation is different. So both Karen and Kiki, and we're just classifying this so we can kind of understand this, you know, what this looks like. Right. Both of them are seeking control, but Karen wants to have power, and Kiki is tired of feeling powerless. So it's very different. So Karen is an entitled white woman who thinks the world revolves around her, and Kiki more so is that angry black woman who knows that the world doesn't. So this stereotype, you know, it can be damaging because when we're looking at an angry black woman stereotype, like, that goal is to silence the demographic that has already been oppressed. But the Karen stereotype has a different agenda, right? That stereotype is kind of to inform individuals of, like, potential oppressors or, you know, people who are, like, racist. So it's similar, but because we all have the same system and nervous system, but it's very different in how it shows up.
Yeah, so we're talking about Kikis and I guess Ken-Kens too. Like, can you just talk about some of the more psychological reasons that they would be suffering from this complex?
So it's several reasons. It really depends on the person, place, and the situation. But when I look at it from that psychological perspective, if we break it down, what we're looking at is hypervigilance, right? And hypervigilance is a trauma response. And this is when you become very alert to danger or threat. You have a high startle response. You feel like you expect the worst, and then people need to prove, you know, the best. So people who are hypervigilant, they're, like, constantly checking their environment for safety. They're constantly expecting danger, and they feel threatened when they experience something that feels familiar. So in a lot of cases, Kiki is navigating what I call, like, an inferiority wound, and it becomes activated every time she feels like somebody is trying to play her.
So we're speaking to licensed professional counselor, Ms. Unetta Spring. So to Unetta, how does dealing with oppression, racism, or Karenism impact our mental health?
Yeah. So it's racial trauma oftentimes is like a slow injury. So it causes, like, that psychological distress, depression, anxiety. It can cause us to question our value and self-worth. And I think it's important to look at how, you know, mental health is also coupled with our physical health, right? So when we have stress, like, stored in our body, it literally compromises our immune system, right? So we can't fight off disease because our body is busy fighting off oppression and racism and stress and things to that nature. So I think it's important that we know it's not just in our head. Like, this stuff gets stored in our bodies as well.
Yeah, and how should we deal with the Kikis and the Karens, so they understand that they are crossing a boundary and that they need to stop?
Yeah, so I always say our boundaries aren't designed to control other people, right? Our boundaries are designed to keep us safe. So it's not our job to make people understand anything. We really have to be mindful of ourselves. So when dealing with anybody, like, that's hypervigilant or has an activated nervous system, like we talked about, our objective, like, our goal is to regulate ourselves and then communicate what we need, you know? So if you need help, like additional help with learning how to navigate that and how to deal deal with that, you can always reach out, find a therapist, unpacking in therapy, because it's really not black and white, and it could be, several underlying factors to kind of show what you're dealing with. So I would say go to my website, YanettaSpring.com, for resources. Follow me on social, Yanetta Spring. We can have a conversation about it and kind of talk about ways to deal with it.
Love it. Ladies and gentlemen, of course, this Talk It Out Tuesday segment is not meant to take the place of actually going to therapy, but it's a start. And you can always get more information on Yanetta's website at YanettaSpring.com or on Instagram at Groundbreakers Therapy. Y'all give it up and show your love right now for Yanetta Spring. Thank you so much. More Rickey Smiley Morning Show coming up.
It's the Rickey Smiley Morning Show.